Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, let's take quick stock here. We have successfully conquered all of Central Africa. We're colonizing the remainder. And we've got 18 infamy at this point. I think probably what we'll do is we'll continue on until we're at 0 infamy. And then we'll take the fight to Great Britain. But maybe, on the other hand, we'll demand a protectorate over the Marina Kingdom. We could conquer the place, though. 7.7 infamy to conquer the country. Are they still... Okay, they're still in their war, so actually I'm not going to do that, because that will get silly. Things will become silly if we do that. So yeah, so we're going to have some nice chill episodes. The other thing we could do, though, is we could go for India, but I think we need to achieve a hegemony over Africa. And that involves, well, number one, we're going to subjugate Portugal. 120% cohesion. Oh, we can't do that because they're technically a major. Never mind. But we'll have all of Africa in our power block, and that'll be fine. We still have some electricity shortages. That's kind of all there is to do. I could do an Antarctic expedition. I haven't done any of that. The Great Train Smash. An enterprising entertainer has arranged for 2 aging locomotives to run into each other at a local fair. The resulting collision may pose a danger to the crowd, although that hasn't stopped Aimable Joffre, leader of the armed forces, from declaring that he will have a front row seat at the event. So he's a Bonapartist and a political operator and the leader of the armed forces. For crying out loud, why? Why do you want to see a crash so badly? Honestly, I believe that somewhere in the makeup of every normal person, myself included, there lurks the suppressed desire to smash things up. Everyone enjoy the spectacle. He becomes more popular. There's a 10% chance he dies and we get some radicals. Otherwise, we get loyalists and Constantine. Or forbid him from risking his life. Armed forces get a little salty. 90% chance of radicals, of loyalists from political movements. 2% chance of radicals, but no chance that he dies. Enjoy the spectacle, everybody. He did not die. Wonderful. Let's see if Constantine got the buff. Yes, they sure did. So Constantine's now got extra loyalists from political movements. And it's almost fully incorporated, which is nice. We're well on our way to having a GDP of 1 million, which it has been a minute since that has happened. Did I see tools were very expensive? No, tools are very cheap. Wow, tools are really cheap. And I'm subvening them. How much am I spending on subventions right now? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Mostly on dyes and tools. I can't spend less on tool subventions without getting rid of them entirely. Ooh, Zeppelins. Excellent. And what about dyes? Dyes are like dirt cheap in my market, right? Yeah. Dyes are extremely cheap. But them's the breaks. I gotta become a world market leader. Up in the air. The D'Orléans airship has been selected as the very special venue for an upper-class ball. The most distinct members of the nation have expressed their opinions on this grandiose machine. From this height, the horizon is but a golden necklace, carefully tight around the vibrant blues of the sea. Dinner is coming and the restaurant is filled with light smoke and deep voices. May I offer you a seat, miss? I shall not dare to write down my name, for some of us have secrets that cannot follow beyond land. The brassy sound of cutlery follows the last heartbeats of the sun in a rhythmic valediction. Systole, diastole, which is the heartbeat sounds. The heartbeat movements. I think in English we say systole, diastole. I've only ever said systolic and diastolic, so I'm not sure. Such shameful eccentricity. This is a scouting war machine? 30 offense for 2 years. Oh man, that's extreme. Look at those velvet cushions and what painted silk walls. Stronger and happier petite bourgeoisie and industrialists. Or if only all this space was used for goods instead of passengers, extra trade capacity. I'm gonna go with that army offense. Maybe now's the time to fight Great Britain. Golly. That is pretty extreme. So, hypothetically, if I fight Great Britain, what do I take? Excuse me? Do we have a truce? We do not. Oh, we're in... okay, hold on. I don't need to deal with this. Alright, so... First nationalization. That's nothing. So, if I go for conquest over Gambia, that's 12.3. Baseline, who gets involved? Other side, a bunch of minors. Spain doesn't. USA does. But everyone else... Netherlands might. But again, it's a better time than it's ever been. Let me take a look at Britain's methods. Britain's production methods for its armed forces. So they're on trench infantry, lancers, mobile artillery. Britain, what is going on with you? Okay, so they do have some siege artillery. So they've got artillery of the kind I've got. So I don't have a tech advantage. So realistically, I would be going after Britain and the United States, who are both pretty extreme powers, and I would need to take a lot of different areas. So I think realistically, the answer to this situation is the first thing I need to do is build a third expeditionary force. First needs leaders. Let me see, this guy's regular, he doesn't have any problems, so that should be fine. Ooh, stalwart defender and an Orleanist. Excellent. Reserved is reduced morale loss, which is pretty good. Anyone else? Ooh, an industrialist guy. He's also cautious. Reduced morale loss, so that's pretty alright. Alright, so we'll give these guys some promotions to get sufficient command capacity for the situation. I actually think I'm going to put them up to rank 4. And then this fell up to rank 2. That's going to give me enough command capacity for everything I need here. Normally my expeditionary forces are 80, 60, 10. I don't see any reason to go somewhere else with this. So, let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And 10. That should be fine. Oop. I'm stuck in the construction screen. Alright, I dealt with it. Did I add the Lancers? I added the Lancers. Alright, beautiful. And then we'll do... so let me see. First French Expeditionary Force is 95, 60, and 10. Let's go up to a nice even 100. Although I'm running out of conscription capacity in the Metropole. But that's fine. Let me see. We'll throw a whole bunch more conscription capacity in here. I actually haven't done much conscription in the east of France yet. So there's ample space over there to increase my amounts. Third force is now 44, 30, and 10. Second force is 41, 30, and 10. My main force is 100, 60, and 10. Let's increase those. So 77, we'll go up to 40 and 10. And then for this force, 74, and there's another 45 and 10. So this should be fine. We are going to finish out these coal mines, because they're almost done, frankly. We've already started building the barracks. And then once this army is employed and organized, then we'll kick this thing off, and this will give us a little bit more time to get our reputation finished without putting us into a situation where we're going too far over our infamy limit. Stonks indeed. Before I forget, let's enable our mobilization methods. This army doesn't have any organization anyway, so it's not going to lose any. And as soon as it's got units hiring, it'll start increasing in organization. 0.6 per day, so it's going to be a while before it's fully ready to go. But once it is, that should be fine. Now, do I want to build out my fleets a bit? I think I do. Although, again, I am a little bit in a situation where I'm kind of running over my capacity here. So this is 40. That makes the 3rd French fleet close up to the northern squadron. Ooh, submarine. Nice. That's fun. It doesn't actually help me all that much, but it's fun. And then we'll do the same. I need 30 and 30 for this fleet. So we'll just continue building those out. This obviously is going to increase my government expenses significantly, but I have the capacity to increase taxes. I have the ability to mass mobilize. Oh, I got to reset construction methods. There's somewhere I got to reset construction. Oh, not that one. Not that one. Reset production methods. Uganda. There we go. Darfur. Nice. Timbuktu. Don't need gas streetlights there. 3rd French fleet needs another leader. This guy's honorable and an explorer. This guy's romantic and a dockyard organizer. I don't think reduced offense is very good. So we'll snag... Well, this guy... This is only popularity, so this guy will be fine. He's a naval commander, and that's a good thing to have. It's an explosion of command capacity. Schedule du Nord, I'm not actually increasing anything here. And let me go ahead and hit the upgrade all units button, because that seems to have appeared. Go ahead and increase that, that'll be nice. And let's set up some additional conscription in our other armies. I think I need an army of South Africa, actually. Well, this will be the army of Central Africa. And when the time comes, we'll establish more here. So, let me see. Let's do... Wow, we have a lot of barracks capacity in these areas. I guess there's a lot of labor still available in much of Africa. Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Oop. Because there's a 25 between 20 and 30. I'm like, how did I get that wrong? Like, it's the easiest possible mistake to understand. Alright. There is... we'll go up to 20 for artillery, and then for cavalry we'll go up there. And then, what about conscription? These forces have quite a bit of conscription. It's generally a... Oh, no, wait, I'm looking at the other stuff. I've generally just been adding a little infantry. I think the Army of North Africa does need some conscript artillery in it. We'll throw in a little bit more. Constantine actually has quite a bit of capacity. Army of East Africa, we'll just go ahead and increase these. There's a little bit more conscription we can do in these areas, and then we'll grab just a little bit of conscript artillery. Not a lot, and then the Army of Central Africa will have some. Yeah, very low conscription capacity for a lot of these states. Probably just because of generally low populations. West Africa, we've got a little more, but only a little bit. This is extreme, what I'm doing. This is... I'm pushing the upper levels of what's possible with my economy, but I'm going to need to be able to win a war against both Great Britain and the United States, and in order to do that, I need to I need to be willing to do a lot. So, I've actually already built all of my stuff. Oh, right. Army of Central Africa needs a leader. Can't get anywhere without a leader. Let me see. This guy's a bigot and an Orleanist. Increased morale loss. That's not as good. Opium addict doesn't... He could get a penalty and I might need to fire him, but that's okay. Can I get someone else in here? Nobody good. We'll put this guy in. Come on, give me someone good. All right, this guy's also a bigot. Well, it is what it is. We found a place for all of our dumb fellas. Oh, what about this guy? He's a market liberal aligned with the industrialists. He can get a promotion. You manage those other fellas. All right, so Third French Expeditionary Force has almost hired all of its professionals. It's up to 87% organization. The Army of Central Africa is growing. Pollinators surge, that's nice. Oil rush subsides. With the groundwork for the Western New Guinea oil industry complete, its appeal and promise is waning among those seeking to carve out their fortune. The nature of these operations is that eventually a few people will hold all the cards. The industry lives on, but our hands are played. We are not among the few. But oil will last forever. Reduced oil industry employee mortality. Reduced standard of living, increased mortality. Increased employees, increased throughput, reduced migration traction, or shuffle their expertise into manufacturing, extra manufacturing industries throughput. You know we're doing the second one, because I do not want that mortality. Infamy is down to 14.9. Is there a way that I can do this where the United States will not get involved? I don't think so, because I think they have a defensive pact with Great Britain. Yeah, they do. Gosh. Well, them's the breaks, friends. Maybe I'll just take a little bit longer to reduce my infamy just a hair more and build up my cash reserves. Because this is going to be a hell of a fight. This is going to be a massive war, probably. Where are we with prestige? I am exceeding both of them in prestige. Not all of that's from army power projection, though. Fleets are continuing to grow in size, which is good. I don't think I need a fourth fleet. I think my fleets are doing fine as is. And we're going to focus on bashing forward into Britain in Africa, and that's going to be our primary focus in this, our maybe war to end all wars? Possibly? We'll see. I'll see if there's anywhere I could potentially get someone who'd be interested in helping out. But no, I kind of want the Europeans to stay in Europe. The other Europeans, I should say, on this. Maybe no. I'm like thinking maybe I should increase the size of my industries. No, the construction pool, the investment pool will do that. The investment pool is chock full. The investment pool has exactly what it needs. Let's go ahead and actually increase construction, because the amount of investment pool is getting really excessive. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Those will build really fast. And once they're done, we'll get things started. We'll get scrappy. We'll get scrappy and we'll get ready to fight. Army of Central Africa is at 62 organization, that's fine. Anti-Russian League offers opportunity. The Anti-Russian League has offered us an opportunity to provide military assistance to Kokand. Their proposal, if accepted, is intended to counter Russian interests. It was a veiled sort of aggression, one which could in theory appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who preferred to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly driving them towards a reckless confrontation in response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight Russia to the last Kokandi, one minister remarked. The representative flushed. He had practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. We would be happy to pursue this, adds lobby opportunity, or this is not in our interests. I'm going to say it's not in our interests. I don't need to be going around increasing my my military goods cost. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. We do not wish to appear partisan. Always the same refrain. The organizer paced back and forth within his tiny office, fist clenched until it felt as if his knuckles were about to burst through his skin. Occasionally, he stole a glance at the unopened envelopes on the desk, all of which he knew would repeat a variation on the same. Partisan. What did it mean? That they cared for something? That they'd chosen to do something beyond count the money in their vaults? He had something important to do, something which would improve society itself. They had a chance to do the same. In that light, how could partisanship possibly be bad? Perhaps we'll find an alternative source of funds. 2% of pops in Ile-de-France become more loyalist, animist rights movement gets weaker, or everything dies in the end, some faster than others, animist rights movement gets way weaker. I'm going to do the second one. I don't need the loyalists. I got plenty of loyalists. I'm going to create a lot of radicals for myself by waging an unwise war. All right. Well, I sure am building a lot of construction sectors. Here's hoping that it finally allows the investment pool to do the thing it needs to do. Because, boy howdy, the investment pool sure is increasing at what I would describe as a comical rate. Yeah, we got electricity shortages. I'm going to have to let the private sector handle all this. Actually, no. Let's build up some market access. Lorraine, Algiers, Languedoc, Constantine, Menanjou. Languedoc, Lorraine. Let me just check and make sure I'm building enough. Actually, I could use one more here. Menanjou. There we go. How much do we need? We need 2. And then it's Algiers, Constantine, and Katanga. Algiers. Constantine. And Katanga. Is where? Here. They just need to hire. I can't do anything about that right now. Alright. So, and the construction sectors are complete. Our infamy is down as low as it's gonna go. So let's see. Let's figure out our goals here. I want to... Is there any way I can finagle this so that the USA doesn't come in? USA wouldn't come in to if I went after Katangwe. Empire of Japan might join me, but that doesn't help. Portugal might join me. Gaza I don't care about. Or Karangwe. Let's start here. And then see what it looks like to snag some other territories. Obviously, Great Britain says no to this. So now, what do we want? What are our goals here in this situation? I can cut Great Britain off from colonization if I take British Congolese Kasai, but I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to get Gambia and Senegal. I want to get these 3 states, and I want to get Sierra Leone. These 3 I could... Let me see. I got 130 maneuvers to play with. We got return state on Bampur. I don't know why I have that. Oh, that's over here, I think. Yeah, because this is Persia. All right, so that doesn't help me. So first Gambia, then Senegal. Those are priorities. British Gambia 12.3, and Senegal 3.2. Okay. Then I want to pull over Sierra Leone, Dahomey, Oyo, and Benin. How much have I still got? 110? That should be fine. Transfer subject, I want Sierra Leone. Dahomey. Oyo. And Benin. So that's going to turn all that into one front. Is there anywhere else in Africa that I want to seize? I don't think so. That's good. Well, they've still got Congo. I could take Congo. Transfer Congo, how much that would be? 1.5. Yeah, let's bring in Congo. I don't have any more maneuvers, so I can't add anything more to primary realistically. Let's throw... no, and I'm not going to do that, because I think they're going to fight. I think they're going to fight. I'm going to mobilize my armies, and I'm going to mobilize all my conscripts. And this is going to seem kind of nutty, but it's what's got to be done when you're fighting a major. You've just got to go just so hard. You've got to go so hard it's comical. First French Expeditionary Force, we'll put them on the front in West Africa. Second French Expeditionary Force, we'll put them on the front of these subject states here. Third French Expeditionary Force, we will put on Congo front. The Army of East Africa, we'll put over here, right next to Paraguay. The Army of Central Africa, we'll put in the same location. The Army of West Africa, we will put on this front here. And then the Army of North Africa, we'll put on this front here. Now, this is a little dangerous, because I'm splitting my armies up across a lot of fronts. But I'm hoping that that will be sufficient to guarantee an amount of success that I desire. Britain is worried, but they are going to pull in the United States almost assuredly. Hey! There's the billionaire achievement. I'm short on ammunition. Do I want to leave that for the private sector to build? I think I do. I think in fact I have to. I think this will sort itself out as trade works itself out, and indeed it is. Let's make sure that it's continuing to go down this deficit as weeks go by, and it is. Alright, that's 700. Alright, beautiful. So, United States of America, size of Great Britain. Alright, so that's fine. You're demanding the transfer of Sokoto. You're going for French Namaqualand, Muhammara. What an interesting... You're going for Muhammara. Curious. I will put the Army of Central Africa in Persia. Questionable practices. Released patients from the Paris Asylum have steadily denounced the practices involved in their supposedly medical treatments. Mistreatment of the sick, withholding of personal letters, and disproportionate punishments were among the charges. They would make us sit in a chair for hours, if not the whole day, in silence. We couldn't talk to any other patient, not even read a book. They would only excuse us to go to the restroom if we were lucky. Otherwise, it was just a rusty chamber pot. No food, no water. If we were not sick when we were admitted, we would be within just a few weeks. Their judgment can't be trusted. Salty trade unions. New England should entirely revise how asylums work. Costs a bunch of cash. Or the trade unions can take over the asylum administration. They're happier. So if they go work to rule, that's reduced state construction efficiency. I don't love that, but it... I don't love that, but it is what it is. The judgment can't be trusted. I think they're not going to activate this until they're at -5, so I think it should be fine. Alright, what else are they going for? They're just going for Namaqualand, which is here, and Muhammara, so I need to be careful. But as long as I'm defending Sokoto, it shouldn't be a problem. Undefended front in Guyana. Where? Oh, I should have gone for Guyana. Well, that's okay. That's okay. These things happen. I don't need to defend Guyana directly, not at this stage. Let's go forward with... we're going to be raiding their convoys to these places to make sure that they can't reinforce effectively, and that's going to get us our vehicles, hopefully. And then, where's my other fleet? Hold on. I forgot which French fleet I got moving. Okay, it's the third French fleet I haven't gotten moving yet. So, we'll put them on convoy raiding as well. And we'll put them over here. Make sure that the British can't move supplies over to the front in Persia. And that'll be fine. I might be making a mistake on this, but it is what it is. I've got a lot of convoy capacity, So hopefully this will go well. Britain is still uncertain. I have the capacity to sway countries, but... Wait, I actually can. Wait, hold on. Oh, interesting. So I can do... Oh, no, because I got enough maneuvers to get one country. I would love to have Portugal. Wait, hold on. Let's be reasonable here. Portugal, what kind of an army do you have? Okay, you have at least potentially a large army, but it's a low-tech army. Yeah, that's not likely to be useful to me. What about Japan? Japan, have you at least got an army that's reasonable technology? You do have some skirmish and trench infantry. Okay, okay. Some line infantry, but not that much. And size of your army total, 200 battalions. Yeah, let's bring in Japan. Let's bring in big man Japan. That's not a reference I expect anyone here will get. It's the name of a movie, it's the name of a character. Colonization of Bangishari completed. Empire of Japan sides with the Kingdom of France. Alright, beautiful. I really hope this doesn't bring China or someone else who's interested in having a fight with Japan. And I hope it does not. Looks like we got the strength advantage on most of our fronts. This one being an exception. I'm going to put this army on defense for the time being. If Persia does the same, if everyone else who's defending here does the same, then we'll be in a better spot. Amritlal Thakar, exiled from Bengal. Interesting. Our railways are almost done, so that'll help out with our gold reserve. So right now, if things continue as they are, they've got 100 weeks, which is about 2 years of gold reserves. I think that's reasonable. I don't see any reason to increase taxes at this time. I may go up to maximum if I get into debt, because at that point I'll be able to basically wage this war as long as needed. I've got good troops defending France. The Army of Northern France is once again in the Rhine. Hold on. Is it the home HQ? Must be demobilized. Alright, curious. Anyway, they'll be in northern France anyway, so it should be fine. I mean, southern France as well. Now, I could do a sneaky little naval invasion to get hold of Britain's capital, but I don't want to do that yet because I want to be very solid. I want to have them be Fiji front. Don't care about Fiji. Kanak front. Guyana front. Where is the Kanak front? It's down here. Alright. That doesn't really affect things. Do they have war goals over there? They don't. Alright. So that's not going to affect anything. That is of no consequence. Though it does mean that if I don't close out these fronts quickly, I'll put myself in a situation where I need to... where they're able to reinforce and bring more units in here, and I cannot, which will be a threat. It's a significant threat. I am sinking enemy convoys, though, so that's nice. Looks like I'm making progress in the Central African front, and I'm making very good progress in the Western African front, so I might be able to close those out pretty quickly. Corsica is blockaded. Alright, let's go ahead and send... They've got an army here. That's not great. It's got too many small armies. Let's go ahead and send this fleet. These fellows have interception. Send this fleet to go through. Again, Britain's overwhelming abundance of small armies is making this a little difficult. How close am I to holding all of Congo? Not that close. If I can continue to win, if I can win a couple more battles over here, I should be good to go. Over here, we're also doing pretty well. I need to get... Okay, we're actually, force comparison's good over here on the Ethiopia front. I got subject armies going over there, so that shouldn't be an issue. This front has been closed out. So I'm now holding Congo. Let's go ahead and bring this army to the Central African Front. And we'll continue to work on these war goals over here. Okay, Britain has brought British East Africa into the war. So this is now a front once again. We've got armies defending over here, so that shouldn't be an issue. We've got a hold of Gambia, we've got a hold of Sierra Leone, or very nearly. So these fronts should be split up pretty soon. 73% occupation over here, that's very good. We're spending a lot of cash. Corsica is still being blockaded. We are intercepting that blockade over here. Someone is invading Britain, which is nice. Forcing the British to withdraw troops over there would be very useful to me. How are we doing? Dahomey is not at all occupied. Oyo is partially occupied. Benin is not at all occupied, but hopefully will be soon if we can continue to have success in the warplace in these battles. Front force comparison over here is good. Hopefully finishing out with Sierra Leone pretty soon. Occupation level is high, could get to potentially highest. We're losing convoys, but I've got plenty of shipping. Alright, beautiful. So, first French Expeditionary Force, we're going to put you over here in East Africa. Army of West Africa, I'm going to sneak you up to France and do a naval invasion using this fleet of mine for certain values of sneak. Alright, force comparison here in Persia seems pretty good, so Muhammad is protected for the time being. And is it in the room with us? What? The time being? Oh, we're losing that battle, unfortunately. We're losing this battle, too. Gosh, and also golly, what's going on over here? Oh, all of our units are in Benin. So we got a lot of battles going on over here at once, and it's making the situation... It's situating the situation pretty weirdly. Alright, I no longer need the Northern Squadron here. Let's move them to the English Channel to support the naval invasion. Actually... let's get the French fleet up here as well. The third French fleet, rather. And we'll get this naval invasion going. And then, perhaps, if we can move fast and hard, we can get what we wish to get and be out of here. Oh my goodness, there's a front in... What is this? Is this in my war? It must be. In Hanover? Hanover became a British protectorate again. That's bananas. Alright, we're going to send the Army of Northern France. This is a bit of a gamble, doing this, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Fleet's coming in. Army we're going to invade with is the Army of West Africa. Alright, closest we can get. 5 days, get in there. If we can hold... Alright, so, this is now... Okay, this is now all one front. Alright, beautiful. They pulled all their African holdings into the situation. We got naval invasions running in Egypt. That's not ideal, but it doesn't actually help them yet. But nevertheless, I think once that becomes a front, I'll send an army there. I'm a little short on governing capacity. So, we're going to swap some areas into the better method. Normandy. Use the phone. Use the power of the telephone. Alright, we got 2 fleets in here. Our force comparison looks okay. If I want to go absolutely buck wild, I can send the Army of Southern France, but that's leaving France itself dangerously unprotected. Renanie du Nord. Renanie du Nord is not on the ocean. What is this? Excuse me, what is this? How am I meant to understand this? Renanie du Nord is not on the ocean. Are they invading via this river? They must be. The Rhine? Bollocks. Alright, let's grab the army of North Africa and bring them over to here. And I guess we're just gonna find out what goes on with that. Again, if these two fronts could merge, that would be super duper. Alright, so this is an active front. I've got a small army over here. Nope. Are they moving? They are moving. I've got a small army over here, so let's see if I can knock out this invasion and sort it. Now, this army will get... Hey! NCO training. Could have planned this better. Hitting upgrade all units right in the middle of a war is probably insane, but it is what it is. Let's go on and hike taxes. Because we're in this to win it, and if we can get to NCO training before this war ends, we'll be absolutely... our enemies will be properly buggered. Let's put it that way. We've got a hold of Benin. We're close to getting a hold of Oyo. We've got a hold of Oyo. Are we near to Dahomey? Not yet. We're getting there. We got a battle running. Where else is there a situation? Come on. Alright. So, now, Britain no longer has war support protection, so now it's just a holding game. Tech, let's continue to bash away at military. I want stormtroopers, flamethrowers, military aviation. Actually, I want military aviation more than I want flamethrowers, but I do want stormtroopers. And in fact, let's grab concrete fortifications and move all the way to mobile armor. Then we'll circle back to doing things that, you know, help people or something. Second French Expeditionary Force, let's get to these fronts in Egypt. Third French Expeditionary Force will do the same. On the other hand, no. Let's post you up in West Africa to make sure the enemy can't invade there. We'll grab this other fleet and we'll get them raiding in the Mediterranean. Alright, these fronts are sorted now. And we might, it looks like we might be able to take the home counties, which would be super duper nice. Where are we in the time? Oh my gosh. This is going to be a war megasode, I decided. Because I don't have time to do a second full episode. So this is just going to be an episode that is unaccountably really, really long. Still holding, they are on their way to Muhammara. But I don't think it's going to matter because we're still holding Namaland down here. And they're not successfully moving forward over here. I hope there's not front chicanery. I don't think there will be. But if we can... We've got them at negative war support now. So now it's only a matter of time as long as we can successfully hold on to what we've got. The game is running really, really slowly, of course. Alright, so let's take a quick look. Can we get everything that we want? Not quite, but we're very close. Interesting. I can get everything except one thing. But I think I want to push for all of it. I think I can win this war. It's only another 20 weeks. I've got the cash flow. I've got the troops mobilized. Now's the time. Now is the time to win. Yeah, I got some groups at low organization. Oh, this is due to insufficient leadership. Alright, well, we'll promote these fellas. And then you, sir, are also a little bit low due to insufficient leadership. We'll give you some small promotions. Alright, I think the only way we're going to get them is through capitulation. was in default. Nice. This army is moving off this front here because they're not clear. Let's put them back in there because that's where they should be. Lots of battles happening in Egypt, but I've got an army on defense here, so that should be fine. These two armies are both concentrated here. They should be concentrated. Actually, we'll take the larger of the two of them and put them in Britain, because that's the place we need to hold on to in order to win this war. Now that we've got the home counties, we have a very, very solid advantage in terms of our ability to win. Supporting the Ottoman workers. We will support the workers in the Ottoman Empire, boosting the power of their trade unions. Maybe we believe in the international cause of the working man, maybe we don't. In the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the Ottoman trade unions get stronger. An excellent idea, 20% interest group attraction, or this would be ill-advised, minus 10%. An excellent idea. Sadly, my time management on this one was just buggered, but standard of living is actually really high for a country at high taxation. Although that might be because, again, standard of living is calculated on an individual... Oh, actually, I need to be on this other front. This front is pretty well held, but this front's kind of going buck wild. Again, we're just making sure that we're holding all the areas we need to hold. They're dangerously close to holding Muhammara here, but we might lose Muhammara. But again, as long as we're holding Namakland, we're good to go. The other thing is they want to transfer Sokoto. They're not anywhere near Sokoto, so that shouldn't be a problem. When they get to below 50%, we'll see how it looks. We're now actually pushing forward in Great Britain herself, so that should be a good... That should bode well for this war. So if I say I want everything, you're still saying no, and you're... Okay, so we need to actually force them to capitulate. We can't leave anything on the table, which is fine. I can afford this war to go on. I ain't hurt. Let's take a look at where the USA is in terms of their desire to be out of this war. Their war support's looking pretty well. So, since the war is getting close to being finished, let's take a look at casualties. We've lost about 500,000 dead and about... Actually, no. France has only lost about 200,000 dead and about 750,000 wounded. Whereas on the other side, Britain has lost about 500,000 dead. The United States has lost 3.5 million. 350 million dead. And then for wounded, Britain's lost almost... It has lost almost 1 million wounded. The United States has lost almost 750,000 wounded. So our kill death in this war is absolutely bananas. That's the tech advantage for you and how powerful it is. Happily, having an absolutely absurd number of convoys has really, really paid off in this thing. Although the game is running like Garbo. Where's this? Poitou-Saintonge. Over here. Okay, so I need to keep an eye on this. It's not a front yet, but it will be a front soon. And I've still got to hold out another, 13 weeks or so. Again, I don't think this will become a front until they've actually got units here, but I need to keep an eye on it. A really solid and good eye on it. We are absolutely crushing them militarily. They're not moving in anywhere over here. Did I say 13 weeks? I meant 7 weeks. Multiplication's hard. Division, however you want to do. I can't do math in my head. I'm playing Victoria 3 at the same time. I am almost in debt. This hasn't happened in forever. How's the investment pool? Investment pool is actually draining, which is the first time in a long time. That having been said, there's only a few more weeks of this, and the enemy will be forced to cede everything that we have demanded. And that will be very good. A very modest amount of infamy for a very solid increase in our position in Africa. And on top of that, we're knocking down our largest rival. Come on. And that is Great British capitulation. So, we've taken a hold of Oyo, Dahomey, Benin, and Sierra Leone. We've seized Gambia. We've seized all of Britain's holdings in West Africa, and we got a hold of a bit of Tanganyika, so that's very good. Does the United States have a war goal? Doesn't appear they do. I think peace will be automatic, and indeed, there it goes. Beautiful. Oh, what a war. Alright, so that should demobilize all our armies, and that's going to make our finances look a ton better. But there is one thing that's going to make our finances look even better, and that is, I need to go to all these places where we're down in taxation capacity and switch up the production methods for our government sectors so that they are effective again. Nope, that's construction. Let me see, what was the other one? Aquitaine, Constantine, and Auvergne-Roselle. Alright. We'll build one just to round it out. Aquitaine. I know that's not efficient, but it makes me happy. And Constantine. Wonderful. And on top of that, we're almost down in infamy back to reputable, which is really strong. Let's go ahead and improve relations with all of our new subjects. Benin, Oyo, and Dahomey. And Sierra Leone, with whom relations are pretty bad, but will be better soon. We've got an army that's low in organization. What's going on with you? You're marching through Spain for some reason. That's fine, not a big deal. Now, before I do anything else, let's grab the army of northern France, and we'll change their HQ to northern France. Because that's where they should be. We're getting another Devil's Railroad event, this time in Guyana. I am going to say full steam ahead, same as I always do. It's sad, but it is. Another communist revolt happening in Norway, probably. Oh no, a reactionary revolt this time. Norway, what's going on with you? What are you trying to do? Nothing. They're just reacting because they're reacting. Oh my, and it's all their interest groups too. That's brutal. You show them, Norway. That's fun. Wow. Well, so we did ourselves just a little bit of a World War I. Ooh, look at this. Spain is making a war against Great Britain. What are you trying to do? You're trying to get independence for Yogyakarta. They're trying to liberate Hanover and British East Africa. And you're trying to get the transfer of Surakarta. Well, what a silly situation. But I can't support them because I've got a truce in Great Britain. So that's a shame. That's a shame, I must say. Portugal sides with Spain. You get them. And they're subject as well. Now the question is... Oh right, I can't get scrappy with the Netherlands. But I could simply purchase this territory. Let me see. I would like to purchase all of this territory from the Netherlands. So let's see if we can make a deal. State transfer, I want Ivory Coast. State transfer, I want Gabon. State transfer, I want the Windward Coast as well. Ivory Coast, Gabon, Windward Coast. Why are all these others still in here? Ghana and Congo. Okay, I'm asking for a lot. What will I give? A defensive pact, first of all. They don't want me to take on their debt. They would like investment rights. But how much can I get by simply promising them cash? Not that much, actually. Interesting. I can't cover quite so much of the territory. So I'm going to need to pick the places that I care the most about, which is going to be down here. Let's close this out. Gabon and Congo. These are the territories that I desire. Oh, I should improve relations with Congo. So, defensive pact. I want Gabon and Congo. State transfer, Gabon. If I give them investment rights, military assistance is worth 11. I think I can only get 1 on this, so we'll cut Gabon. We'll cut investment rights and military assistance, and then for the rest we'll give them cash. Wow, the numbers are buck wild here. Let's see how much 6,000's worth. Okay, that's not quite enough. 7,000, 65, 8,000, 70. That should be enough to cover the difference. It says they will say yes. Let's send it. Excellent. Because potentially I can turn all of this area, once I've got Gabon, I can turn all of that territory over to Congo, and then Congo will be a nice, strong, solid country. That having been said, that is all the time we've got for this War Megasode. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun as well, and I will see you on the other side.